update on what's going on with me. This morning I had an interview with Department of Human Assistance, basically to do an interview with me so that I could qualify for general assistance. They say to qualify for it, and it should be no problem. Probably all of that will be said and done by on the beginning of next week. So that's good news. Also, I don't believe I mentioned on this channel that what is it? Oh, that I talked to a pro bono lawyer, and the pro bono lawyer uh, told me to send the specific form to the lawyer that's with that firm, and to email her this form with it signed. So I had to go down to the library because I don't have a printer or a computer. So I had to show the librarian my, hey, how's it going? I was just talking about the progress I've made so far, and this is an update with what's going on with me. So today I had an interview with General Assistance. In General Assistance, they said that I qualify. I'll even be able to get something for my disability, like what was it? A sticker on a bus pass for my disability, so that I can ride public transit for either free or cheaper than regular fare. So I'm really jazzed about that. So yeah, it's gonna be good. And then yeah, everything's falling into place. I'm so happy that everything is working out. I'm just really tired, you can tell. I almost forgot that I had an interview this morning with Department of Human Assistance. Thank goodness I realized it before I went to sleep last night so that I could set my clock, because they called me at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I usually get up about 9:30, 10. But so yeah, I made sure I got up. I got up at like 6 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning, so that I would be ready, have my paperwork all together. So yeah, it's all good to go. They said they'll have it all straight and squared away by the beginning of next week. So it's good to go. Um, yeah, it's a lot of positive things are happening. As far as my son goes, you guys want to know? Yeah, the sheriff's department, they told me, they emailed me back because I was telling them that my son told me when I visited him in jail that a few of the inmates raped him. So I was calling every single day since he's been there and trying to get some sort of results, because I talked to the psych department, and the psych department was telling me, oh, well, he's on his medications. And I'm like, what does that matter when he's getting sexually assaulted? Okay. Well, that makes him more pliable, more, agreeable. Fuck that. He doesn't even need to be there. And I told his DA, recently talked to his DA, I said, look, he's got schizoaffective disorder. He just was off his medication. He's on his medication now. If he stays on his medication, he'll be fine. And he even told me that he wanted me to be his caregiver. He told me that the last time I went to go visit him. And I said, I'm definitely going to work on that for you, son. So, and I am. So I get myself financially straight, then I can get a place, either a 2-bedroom house or 2-bedroom apartment, and we're good to go, and he'll be fine. And we'll be far away from my husband, because he's very dangerous. Like I said before on one of these live streams, my therapist recently told me that I should have no contact with him because he's a danger to me. She told me that people who are in relationships with people who have narcissistic personality for this long, because it's been like 23 years, that they end up having some sort of brain damage. If I was to get my brain, get an MRI or whatever for my brain, they would see the result of the damage from the abuse, because it's pretty much psychological, abuse that he was putting on me. He was gaslighting me. He was doing all kinds of fucked up shit. And so she said that no contact. So I'm gonna figure out a way to go. Once I get get a place to where I can move all of my stuff, my belongings into my place, then I'll be good to go. But until then, I don't want to go over to the apartment if I don't have a place to put my belongings, And storage is very expensive, so I'm just gonna wait until then because if I go down there too, the management wants me to sign a form saying I don't live there anymore. So what would happen is my name would be off of the lease. So because my name would be off the lease, I think it would be more difficult for me to get my stuff back. So I'm just gonna wait until I have a place to put my stuff. I'm in the process of getting a divorce now as we speak. I got a pro bono lawyer on it. She's gonna take my case and get this on the road. I mean, I asked my husband back in 2012 if he would give me a divorce, and he was reluctant, and he agreed at first, and then he took said no, we can work this out, right? We didn't work shit out, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't care about our son. He won't even help our son with bail to get him out. He doesn't give a whoop. He's kicking it and shacking up with the homeless lady in the apartment that still has me on the lease, and she has a dog there. And they treat the dog not very kindly, telling the dog to shut up and all that. So, yep, he's not good with animals. Neither is she. And that animal is in the mix of all this stupid shit. But what can I do? When I did see the animal, I was nice to the dog because it's not the dog's fault; it's their fault for being immature assholes. So I appreciate everybody, your help and your encouragement. It's really meant a lot to me. No words can say everything that your support means to me. Thanks to the people who actually donated. Thank you to the people who jump on the live stream and give support. And thank you to those who watch it, the replay of it and put their input into the comment section. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if anybody's going through this, I feel for you because it's not an easy road, but it's a better road when you're not around such a toxic person. I mean, I had so much stress. I lost my eyebrows through this marriage. That much stress, and yeah, my therapist says no contact at all with this person. So I don't know why this is going down like that. Oh, it's the clinic calling me, making sure I'll be able to make it to the appointment. Hold on, I'll be back. Answer. Trying to answer. Or Thursday. What's Thursday? Back. I had to answer the phone for my dental appointment. In the midst of all this, I got my teeth done, work done, and I have an appointment on Monday that I have to cancel because usually when I go to dental or primary doctor appointments, I get what's called a free ride transportation through my medical benefits. So that way I don't have to worry about transportation. But unfortunately, I didn't book a ride for Monday, so I'm gonna have to reschedule. That's all that was. Yeah, I've been going through a lot of things physically as well as mentally. I've been going through lot of problems mentally and physically in the midst of all this craziness, and it's too much, man. It's a lot. So what I've been finding myself wanting to do is get out in nature. Even just sitting out here in nature, even though it's hot as you know what, it's over 100 degrees out today. I went for a walk up to the store and got a few things to eat for later on in the evening because it's too hot to really eat much of anything. As it is, I had some nachos, and that really heated me the heck up. Now my hair is like drip drying outside because it was so like freaking. It still is, but it feels good because I got my dress is sort of dampened, so it's all about adaptation, right? So yeah, things are looking up, definitely. I just wanted to give you guys an update and know what's going on with me. Um, I'll get back to my regularly scheduled programs. I have been doing it here and there with doing videos about angel communication because the angels have been communicating with me big time. Okay, big time. When you communicate with the angels, they get happy. They get really happy. Thanks for the one thumbs up. They get really happy and they want to communicate with you even more. They're happy. That's their job. You know, some people are like, oh, I don't want to bother the angels with my problems. That's what the angels are there for. Give it up to them and they can help you. Thanks for the two thumbs up. They can help you. So don't feel like you're imposing on them because that's what they do. And they're a bit ubiquitous. They can be in so many places at once. So that's how they roll, you know, and they want to roll with you and help you push yourself up higher. Thanks for the three thumbs up. They want to be able to push you up and let you know that you are capable of more than you realize you are capable of. And that's for sure. I've been tested through this relationship of 23 years. It'll be 24 because years in October, but I know that I'll be done with it by October completely. And I'm thankful that there is services out there to help those who don't have the money to pay full pop for a lawyer. So I'm really fortunate in that regard. The one thing that's frustrating me is I hired a lawyer for SSI for both me and my son, and it's taken them forever to realize this is dire need situation. You know, they tell me, oh, when I wasn't, when I did have my own home and everything, they told me, oh, well, one way is that if you're homeless, okay, now I don't have a home. And then they're like, oh, well, you need to write a letter for both of you guys and feed it into our portal on the website. So I tried to do that, and I didn't see anywhere to load up letters of dire need. So I contacted them again. They're like, oh, just go to this place and that place on the portal. So I went there, and I still didn't see what the heck they were talking about. So I'm thinking about just going to or calling the disability rights place on Monday because the communication with me in this law firm is just ridiculous. Um, they call me at all weird kinds of hours. They're telling me they're leaving messages on my voicemail, and I've said my voicemail is having problems. Please email me. Please, preferably call me so I can hear your voice. Because you know how things get mixed up when you communicate through email or a text message. It can be very wackadoo when it comes to that, the communication breakdown. So I've been attempting to call them so I can talk to a person so they can tell me exactly how to do this because I just feel like they're not doing their best in this situation. They're not. And it's probably because they got so many cases that, look, just another person, another number. So, but yeah, that's the good news that's going on now. That I'll be getting general assistance, and I'll be kicking in next week, and still getting support through food stamps. So, hello, Jabir Red. What's this saying? What's your name? What's your name? Jabir Relam? Reham? Okay. Hello. Tried my best to pronounce your name correctly. I know how it is when people don't pronounce your name correctly. It's happened to me many times. Trust me on that. But yeah, I'm just chilling out here in the heat, in the California heat, just giving you an update on what's going on, and that's what's going on, basically. There's been a lot of blessings I've been experiencing lately, though. One night when me and my friend went up to the river, we were sitting there, you know, chilling, feeding the ducks and stuff, and these two black men on bikes came by, and they stopped and was sitting down to just take a break. And I was admiring the bike because it had a kickstand on it, and you just don't see that anymore, a bike with a kickstand. And I was like, wow, that is just so, yeah. I remember those days. And so anyway, me and my friend, we sat down and we're chilling, just watching the ocean. I mean, the ocean, I wish. Watching the river currents and watching the ducks swim by and feeding one duck. And before those two gentlemen left, who had the bikes, one of them came over, almost fell down because of where we're sitting. It was pretty high up. He came over and he gave me $5 and my friend $5. He said, "You guys, God bless, have a good day." And I was like, wow. Because I was kind of stressing about money, and then that happened. Once I stopped stressing about it, then that happened. And then the next day, when we were at the river again. This was yesterday. Um, we came to the river and we saw this duck, and it looked like a female duck. She had like a club foot. It was bizarre. But I was like, wow, how is she going to get around? And she was just kicking it in the shade. And then finally she came over and wanted to get something to eat. So we started giving her the crackers gave her. That we brought. And she was enjoying that. And then another duck came over that we're used to. He was starting to get a little fussy because he wanted to be fed and not her. But then I said, hey, you need to be nice. This duck is injured. And then he backed away and let her eat. And then when she left, he came back and ate the rest of the crackers. It was adorable. I love being out in nature, and it really cheers me up. It takes me out of my problems and puts me in a better energy space. And it's interesting, too, that day is that I saw magpies. And a few days ago, me and my friend were at the river and we're saying, it's been at least over 15 years since magpies have been around. What happened to the magpies? So yesterday, guess what? Magpies. My friend told me, hey, there's one up there looking down at you, a magpie. And I looked up and I was like, sure enough, it was a magpie looking at me. Then next thing you know, there's a whole family of them coming down and searching for food and everything, just tons of them. Because I remember when there was a lot of magpies when I first moved here to California. And then all of a sudden they weren't there, and it seemed like they were replaced with mockingbirds. So it was pretty cool to see. That was really magical. And as we were looking at the magpies, I felt like some energy was coming through on the side here of me. And lo and behold, slowly it would emerge coming down the hill right next to us was a bunch of geese, like big ones. And they've got black webbed feet. They were beautiful, just really elegant and silent. They're just coming through, and they were right next to us. And I was like, dang, what's that about? That's what happens when you're in a relaxed and content, space. That's what happens. I might want to take you with me. I need to grab my water. I forgot to bring my water. So, and the seat's sticking to my butt because it's so hot. I'm going to grab my water here. It's a lot cooler in here because earlier I closed the door because it got really nice and cool. It got really nice and cool this morning, and it cooled off last night. Fortunately, because it's been hot now. What's weird is that for a while it was pretty cold. It was feeling like winter and fall season. That was very unusual for here because when summer's here, it's hot. So that was just really unusual. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is that you just have to really be relaxed in order for the animals to approach you and kind of just work on changing your energy field when you're out in nature and you're around animals. Because animals, they really want to connect with you. And they really do understand what you're saying. You just talk to them like you do. They can understand English, but they can't speak English really all the way. Oh, God, that's better. So yeah, that's what's going on. I had a very productive week. Actually, it was very tiring because one part of the week I walked all the way up to Department of Human Assistance because they gave me a PO box, but not for all of my mail, but just for the mail, the important papers. I got lost and stuff when I finally got there because it closed at 4, and I just got there. It almost closed, and so yeah, I got all the information I needed. I even got a free phone so that in case this phone goes out, because yeah, but yeah, it's really cool, man. It's really, really awesome that it's really awesome to be away from a stressful environment and to be somewhere where I'm treated with more respect, and somewhere I can actually heal for a bit while I'm working on getting stuff together. So, yeah, I'll just be happy when this is all done. Cut to, I've got a place for me and my son. He's with me and I can help him out whenever he needs me to. Because like I said, I talked to that law firm, the pro bono place, and they said after he gets out that they can help me out with becoming his conservator, i.e., caregiver, pretty much. So, and I'm so happy about that I'm making progress. And I wasn't able to make progress with getting anything done for my son until I left my husband, until I was away from him. Now they see that this is a dire need. But when I was with my husband and they saw that I was unemployed, but he was making the money, so I really didn't need that help. I didn't need any help. Now that I'm away from him, they see that my situation is definitely dire. So I'm the only one who is loving this heat. How is your evening going? I like the heat too. I do too because evening's going really well. Thank you for asking. I do like the heat too, and the heat is just very therapeutic. The Egyptians used to do what's called heliotherapy, heliotherapy, and that's basically healing by the sun. And they would also and they would also do sun gazing, and I do both. When I lived in a house back in the day, I could sunbathe whenever I wanted and gaze at the sun too. I still do. I still do sun gaze, and I still do get the beauty of the sun. Usually when I'm going on walks on my errands, or when I go by the river. Because yesterday I got full exposure to the river, and that was beautiful. So I'm gonna put up some videos of. I put some videos up on my Instagram, but I'm gonna put some videos up here of some of the nature films that I took when I went to the river, just to help people feel inspired. If they can't get to nature, at least they can look at nature and feel like, yes, soon it'll be possible. Because to tell you the truth, where I'm located right now, it's a lot easier to get to a place that's beautiful. I used to sun gaze and sunbathe. Yeah, it's very therapeutic, especially if you have really sore muscles, and just overall, it helps your brain. I notice my mind can think a lot more clearly when I've sun gazed or sunbathed. Um, my eyesight was a lot more crystal clear. I had better eyesight when I was doing it on a regular basis. And that's the thing, is doing it regularly. A lot of people go out to sun gaze and they've never sun gazed before, and they may go during the peak heat. And that's the worst time to do it if you've never sun gazed before. That's what I suggest is the best thing to do is get the sun gazing done when the sun rises, and then get the sun gazing when the sun sets. Into a habit of doing both, and before you know it, thanks for the 5 thumbs up. And before you know it, you'll be able to sun gaze during the peak heat. And you'll be able to sunbathe during the peak heat. That's why people get skin cancer and stuff like that, because they go off into the blazing heat without prepping their body for it first, getting their body used to the heat like that, the sun like that. And that's how people end up with heat stroke, all kinds of shit. sunburn and all that stuff, because they're not really, you know, respecting the sun. If you don't respect the sun will scorch the frick out of you, especially if you're lighter in complexion, and people tend to think that black people need sunscreen. I'm not here to tell you anything about whether you should put sunscreen on yourself if you're of brown skin, but I've never needed sunscreen. I haven't. I've never needed sunscreen, and if you really need to put on sunscreen, instead of using sunscreen, use like aloe vera gel or something like that. And just, I'm trying to get my eyes back to 2020 vision. Oh, moon gazing is great too. I like moon gazing as well. It's beautiful. It's so phenomenal and magical. I've been doing a lot of moon gazing now because I'll be right here and I can see the moon right out there really well. It'd be nice to be able to do an evening video, and it's pretty well lit up at night. So I probably could do an evening video where you can see the moon. And over where I'm located, I see like bats going by. It is so cool. um, Earlier today, when I was doing a live stream for my other channel, I saw there was a hummingbird that came over by me, and it was just kicking it right by my ear and stuff. You look like you in a beautiful space to me. Oh yeah, it is. It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm up high, so I can see right. I can see the sky really well. It's a really good vantage point for the moon. And like I said, those bats are the bomb. I see those bats coming out here, flying around and everything. It's just nice. And those birds chirping. This is what I want. I want to live. I mean, this is still the city technically, but I want to live somewhere where there's animals around that I can communicate with. I mean, today I saw a total of I think 3 dogs. Each one I was admiring them, and one of them licked me on the hand. The other one looked at me, and it was just wonderful because I miss having the cats that I had. They're just wonderful companions to talk to communicate with, to pet, to love, to feed, and give water. Because when you honor these animals, they honor you as well. They're very magical. All of these animals are very, very magical. Even people think, oh, a squirrel, whatever, you see that every day. No, but if you really connect with the squirrel animal, they've got a lot of knowledge to bring forth. I mean, they live a hard life, so they know about the struggle. And if you start feeding animals like that, then they start to appreciate you more because communicating with these animals is a blessing and it's a privilege to be in the presence of these animals. And a lot of people don't respect animals like they should. I lived with somebody who was very, very violent towards the animals that we had. So it's horrible that people could be that mean and cruel to an innocent animal. Even if the animal's not even attacking you, or if it accidentally scratches you because that's claws, instead of yelling at it and throwing it across the room, throwing the animal across the room, you could say that is not good behavior. That's what I do with the animals that I took care of. If they did something that was wrong, I would tell them, but I wouldn't yell at them. I said, that is not good behavior because that hurts. You see this? And I'd show them what the scratch did on my skin. And these animals are so smart that they realize, oh, I'm sorry. Because a lot of times when that would happen to me, it's not done purposely. It's just they got claws. I mean, cats have claws. And that's a part of their anatomy. Some people like to clip their cat's claws. I'm not into that. There's a reason why their claws are sharp and long like they are, because it's for defense. If your cat gets lost or something, or someone tries to pick him up, he can defend himself. He or she can defend herself with her claws. That's their defense mechanism. You trim them and all that shit. It's not what that for me. That's not right. It's not right. And people are trying to get overly involved in grooming their animals. You know, it's enough that people put clothing on their animals. You know, I just don't like that. You know, seeing a cat dressed up in a tuxedo or some weird shit like that. Yeah, guys, stay hydrated. I've been drinking tons of water today. I went up to the store to get some groceries, and my God, yeah, I was soaked. I was just dripping in sweat. And now I'm just drip drying my hair. My hair is almost dry. It was literally dripping. So, yep. But anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been so supportive. Whether you've donated to the channel, whether you've come on these live streams and just communicate with me, whether you leave a nice message, whether you just watch and you don't like, it's whatever. You just like watching it. I appreciate each and every one of you. Um, yeah, and if you've been here for quite a while, if you've been here from the beginning, hello, or the middle, or now, that's cool. But I really appreciate each and every one of you coming over here and spending some time with me. I do want to get on to talking about. I do want to get on to talking about what people have been asking me about, like spiritual, specifically angel communication, and I'm going to get back on that tomorrow. Tomorrow's the weekend, so I'll take a little break from all the work I've been doing all week. But I'll get on that like tomorrow. Because on one of the live streams, someone was talking about the significance of butterflies. And I want to talk about the magical properties of the butterfly and what it comes to you to represent. The hummingbird, all these animals that come to you and show up in your world don't come into your world for no reason. They come because they're trying to help you. It could be a loved one that has passed away and really cares about you and want to still show you that they're around, so they'll send you some sort of an animal. For me, the hummingbird that I saw this morning, it reminded me of my mom because my mom, she loved hummingbirds. I even saw a photo of her where she was embroidering a hummingbird on a sweatshirt. It was beautiful. So I didn't even know my mom did embroidery. But it was beautiful, and I felt like when I saw that hummingbird today, that my mom was sending the hummingbird to me, letting me know that she's proud of me and she's watching me. Because I've been talking to my ancestors uh, every day, every single day, communicating with them, and they communicate with me through signs. And that was one of the signs with my mom bringing forth the hummingbird. There's no hummingbird feeder over here. Hummingbird was, you saw it in one of the, I saw it when it played back in one of the videos I recently did. I think it was with the live stream from my other channel. And what they didn't see in the camera was that it had came so close to my ear. It was just kicking it right there. That happens to me a lot with hummingbirds. They seem to really like me, and as time goes on, and you're around animals more out, they're gonna gravitate towards you. You know, I like all kinds of animals. I usually prefer as like a companion in my home as a cat. Now, I would have a dog too if I had more space, if I had land and all that. Then I'd have a dog. But I don't want to have a dog in an apartment because they need a vast amount of land to just frolic on it and have a good time. Um, and yeah, it is. You're true. Um, there was another time this happened to me when I lived back in this house that I was renting with my family, and yeah, that we had the hummingbird feeder up. But what they would do, they saw me putting the hummingbird feeder up all the time and changing it. So if the hummingbird feeder wasn't up, they'd look in the window to see what's up, where am I? And if they didn't see me in the living room window, they'd go to the kitchen window to try to find me. They go to the bathroom window. They go to the bedroom window. Say, hey, I need some more water. Yeah, that's been happening to me a lot. I am definitely my energy is getting high up there because like I said, the animals are like communicating with me. People's dogs, you know, like the one dog that I saw today, I said, "Oh, aren't you beautiful?" And the dog licked me on the hand because the dog looked like it was having a hard time. And then I passed this one dog. It looked kind of like a bulldog. And what before we passed it, me and my friend passed the bulldog. Some other person did, and the bulldog was going off. And, you know, looked like he wanted to attack. When we came by, the bulldog was barking, but not like really fiercely. And I said to the bulldog, I said, "Looks like you're thirsty. Looks like you need some water." And it didn't get angry because that's what it needed. That's why it was mad. It was thirsty. I see butterfly all the time now, and I love it. Oh, you see? Oh, cool, cool. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of butterflies here and there. Um, Today, usually what I've been seeing, today I did see one. It was black and yellow. And that's what I was talking about. I want to do a video about butterflies. Someone asked me or said something about butterflies. And, oh, you saw a yellow one? Yeah, those are pretty cool. Straight up yellow. That's rare to see that, at least for me. Um, I see a lot of yellow and black ones. I don't really see monarch butterflies here. And yeah, when I lived in Illinois, I saw a lot of monarch butterflies. But I saw monarch butterflies here in California a long time ago. Yeah, right? It is amazing. Hey, how's it going, Shamanic Journey? Yeah, black butterflies are pretty awesome to see too. There's so many different kinds of butterflies. There was one time where I went to Marine World. I was for like a trip with my job at Whole Foods Market. Our whole department went like on a field trip to Marine World, and there was this one place. It was like a butterfly sanctuary, and I went in there, and it was just like butterflies everywhere. And I was trying not to step on them. They were all over the place, and I thought, man, this is just weird. You know, it's cool to have all these different butterflies around, but this is just weird. You know, because you don't want to step on them. They're so beautiful. It just seemed like they had no control. They didn't have any control of what's going on. But it was just, it doesn't make sense. They had them all inside of this building, you know, to display them and show people all the different types of butterflies. But the butterflies were all over the place. And I had to leave there because I didn't want to step on any. You know? It was just weird. I mean, well, it's Marine World, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so very much accomplished week, very productive week. I'm really happy with all the things that happened. As I said, I'm going to be able to get general assistance because I had an interview this morning. That's why I look really tired. I stayed up late last night, and then I'm like, oh shit, I got to get up early for this interview. And it turned out good. As I said in the beginning, as I said in the beginning of the live stream, is that, yeah, that interview, he set me up, and he said that because I'm disabled, I'll be able to get like a sticker um, for like a bus pass. That way I can get on the bus with a discount, or maybe it's free. So that'll be nice because I need to take a load off on all this walking. I don't enjoy the bus, to tell you the truth. I don't enjoy the light rail, but I know that sometimes it will be necessary. I'm glad things are getting better. Thank you, Shamanic Journey. Yeah, things are getting a lot better. And you know why they're getting better is because I'm taking time out to be in nature. Just about all this week, I was going up to the river with my friend, and it slows things down and makes me just slow down and look at all the things I've done in one day. You know, and when I start to write in my journal too, how I'm doing it more often, it helps me keep track of all the things I have accomplished in one day. And when I do that, I feel really good about what I've done today. You know what I mean? So this weekend I just want to kick it and relax and fully recuperate because I've been walking all over the place down here. It's been getting really hot lately, so I was able to get like a free phone just in case this phone gets turned off because my bill's coming up and it's like $35 a month. So I decided to get a free government phone because they issue those out, and pretty much transferred my information from this phone over to that one in case I don't have money to pay my bill for this month for that phone. So I have a free phone as a backup, which is I really feel thankful for that because without a phone, I can't do what I'm doing here, like making videos, posting art up online and everything like that. So the phone is what I got, and I heard that you can get a free notebook too, like through the government. I think it's like first I think it's like you pay $20, you don't have to pay anything else. You get a free notebook. So that's something I'm gonna look into. So yeah, I'm gonna skidoo on out of here. It's a really hot day, but I thought I'd give you guys an update, and stay tuned for some nature films. I should say short videos of what I've captured when I went to the river yesterday and the day before yesterday. So yeah, I think you guys will enjoy that. I did post. What time is it there? Oh, let me see. It must be at least 7. Yeah, I was right. It's 7:21. Can't wait to hear you speak. Yeah, I want to do that tomorrow. I want to do the video on butterfly. I'm gonna start taking each animal that I see and doing a video on it. So tomorrow I'll do the butterfly. Definitely, all these other animals that have been flocking to me, they're giving me messages and they're communicating with me. So I want to let you guys know what I find out about the meaning of these animals. 921. Oh wow, it's evening there. Yeah, it's going by. This day is going by so fast. But a lot has happened and a lot of good things have happened. So, and I hope the same thing for you guys, man, that you're doing all right out there. And realizing that, hey, we're all in this, this earth, this planet Earth, doing the best we can. And if our best isn't good enough for someone, then that someone needs to just get on out the way. Did you hear about the beaches? What about the beaches? What's going on? Hi. Okay. So yeah, I didn't hear about which beaches. You mean in California or where exactly? What's going on? There's a lot of different things washing up on the beach. Thanks for the 8 thumbs up. There's a lot of things washing up on the beach that people can't explain. I don't know if you guys have gone as far as learning about some of these things that are rising up to look like science experiments. Some of these animals, because they can't figure out what the heck it is. Like that whole Montauk monster thing they're talking about, where this thing washed up on shore. What's it say? All over the U.S. They're thinking of closing it a lot down. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. They would do that. It's just ridiculous what's going on with animals. Like that one thing that did wash up on shore that I found out about, the Montauk monster. This was a long time ago when I found out about that. Um, it like looked like it had a beak, and they're trying to say that it's a raccoon or whatever. That's because the mermaid's about to. Yeah, the mermaids are about to resurface. They are. I mean, they came out this one mermaid documentary. I think everybody, a lot of people have seen it. It turned out that they say it was fake because a lot of it looked. Some of the stuff in there looked real. The way they made it. I mean, where they captured, they show the footage where they show the people in the boat, and then they were getting like poked by something, and they show what they're able to capture on screen, and it looks straight up looks like a mermaid with like some sort of weapon of some sort, like a pitchfork or whatever. And yeah, a lot of these what we call magical beings that are just put into mythology. They were just put in a mythology and not taken seriously and just put into cartoons like The Little Mermaid and all that stuff. Well, that documentary they said ended up not being real, but I do still believe that there are merfolk in the waters, and we've pissed them off. Trident, yeah, a trident, like a three prong, yeah, right, exactly, a trident. That's what they saw. What happened? Why would you look like that, first of all? What are you talking about? What happened? Why would you look like that, first of all? I don't even know what you're talking about. So anyway, yeah, I do believe there's merfolk, and I did actually see other magical beings. You know, they really be coming to be in, coming to me in meditation. Yeah, me too. I'll tell you what. One being, magical being that really comes to me in meditation is the gnomes. Yes, the gnomes. The first time I saw one, I was in Fort Bragg, California, and I was by the ocean, and it was at this one place called the Pygmy Forest. It's called the Pygmy Forest because it's kind of like a bonsai forest. Like the nutrients weren't rich, mineral rich enough for the plants and the trees to grow really tall. So it's like a stunted little forest, pygmy forest. And I went walking through there for the first time, and it was so quiet. You could hear a pin drop for reals. It was so quiet there. And then I looked in the pygmy forest, and you see like this little bench. I think it was made for a little person, and it said, not like a little person, a human person, but like a little like magical being. And I saw this little bench, and it had elf, the words elf carved into it. And then I looked over to the other side of the pygmy forest, and I saw a gnome, straight up, a gnome, looked like a little Santa Claus guy, and he was kind of peeking out, smiling, like, hey. Maybe you're scared of a merman. They possess it. Is that what you wrote about the merman? Poseidon is not a merman, right? Poseidon, that's one of the merman gods. Yeah, but you gotta be respectful when you approach these kind of beings because you need to. I mean, they won't want nothing to do with you definitely if you don't have respect for them. And when I saw that, can I have? Anyways, so yeah, you got to be respectful of them. If you don't, then they're not gonna want nothing to do with you. And I was the only one that saw the gnome because I was there with my husband and my son, and the gnome appeared to me and just was smiling like cat and peeping out of one of those little stunted trees in the pygmy forest, just looking at me and smiling. And then recently, it was like I think a month ago, I had a dream about some gnomes again. They're there, they're just waiting for me. Because I've done a lot of art with gnomes in it, my drawings, and I've done some paintings with gnomes in it. And yeah, they're here, and they've always have been here. So yeah, and they'll be here forever. I mean, Sylvia Brown, when she was alive, she was on one of Montel Williams' shows, and this one lady stood up and said, Sylvia, can I ask you a question about these little people I've been seeing? She says, I went to the big dumpster and in the back of a restaurant, and she would see these little beings coming in and out of the dumpster getting stuff out of there. And she said, those are gnomes, honey. They exist. And it's like, damn, they're taking things out of the dumpsters. Things must be going wrong. Because gnomes like to hang out in gardens and nature. But with us destroying a lot of nature, they're getting desperate, I guess. And that's why they communicate with me, because I communicated with them, with that one, all that long time ago. I told an artist friend about this, about how I had an experience with really seeing a gnome. And she said, yeah, she said her dad, when he was alive, he saw one, and he drew a picture of the gnome, and he also made a little story with it and all that. I might do that myself because that was really a remarkable experience I had. Both seeing the gnome in like real time, like in the waking world, and seeing the gnomes in the dream time. You know, the more you talk about these beings, the more they're going to show up. Just like the angels. The more you talk about the angels, the more likely they're going to pop up into your world because they hear you talking about them. They hear that you're interested in them and that you want to know more about them. So, the more you communicate, the more you learn about these beings, the more likely they're going to show up. So I'm gonna skidoo back inside because it's getting a little hot for me. I feel like my hair is drying already. I soaked it down and it feels like it's drying already. I'm gonna go inside, and what I'm gonna do when I charge up this phone after I do this video, I'm gonna do some research on the butterfly, and I'm gonna come back with you guys on a video about the symbology of the butterfly. That's gonna be for tomorrow. So yeah, I love doing videos like this for you guys because not only that I'm happy to share what I learned, but I'm happy to learn about all of these animals that they're coming to us and they're trying. Hey, hey. Yeah, definitely stay hydrated. I've got my big old thing of tanker of water. And you as well, thank you. It's good to remember. And then there's a butterfly. Yeah. Those butterflies make me so happy to see. They do. The butterflies, the hummingbirds, dragonflies are around too. They kind of disappeared for a bit because the weather was getting really cooled off, so you didn't see a lot of dragonflies. But now they're coming back now that the weather is warmed up and everything. So it's really nice to see these really beautiful, beautiful animals and insects all over the place doing their thing and you know coming towards you when they see that your energy is pure, your energy isn't tainted, you're not a destructive and mean person. They read your energy and then therefore they want to hang out with you more. So and I feel honored to have them hang out with me. So when I feel honored to have them hang out with me, the way I can show them, like with the ducks, we've been bringing food for them to eat because they've been coming up around us sometimes when we didn't even have food. And so we're like, okay, next time we'll bring you some food. And so we did, and they would be there ready. And that we're true to our word, and we showed up with it. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me for this live stream. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to support the channel, you can go to my Google Pay or my Cash App, and I can, in exchange for a donation, I can create a video based on a topic of your choosing. But that said, brightest blessings to you all. I'll see you soon, and really pay attention to the animals that are coming to you because they're trying to tell you a message for your spiritual life path. All right, guys, take care. Brightest blessings.